Okay, Nate, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing really good. I like your setup behind you. Where are you at? Is this your office?
I've been working from home for 10 years, and I'm now exploring different workspaces. So I've got a trial for a week at Kiln, and then I'm going to go over to WeWork and try out there. So I'm in a conference room right now.
Awesome. Very cool. I was going to say, you got some good decorators if this is your like home office. Awesome. Well, Nate, I'm so excited to have you on today. So we have been going since 9 a.m. this morning. We've had really great trainings, and I'm excited to have this conversation because Nate is killing it with YouTube channel production. And some of his clients, we have a client in common, and then other ones of your clients are people that I know, and it has exploded their sales. And I think YouTube is one of the most powerful platforms out there right now. And so when we very first
Mhm.
started thinking about this, that you were one of the first people that I thought of. I was like, you know what, we got to talk YouTube. So thanks for taking your time and being willing to chat with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what I do, and I love sharing the secrets of how to do it because there's a lot of opportunity with YouTube.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to just introduce you and your company. So your company is Be the Hero Studios, and they
Mhm.
help seven-figure influencers leverage YouTube as a lead generation machine. So he teaches other people how to take their expertise, position it on YouTube, position themselves as the hero that people are searching for, and then really he's got efficient processes in order to help build that following so you can funnel that in and just generate lead after lead after lead after lead. And I know my clients that really YouTube, it is one of, I mean, it's one of their primary lead sources in their business.
Mhm.
So it's a really exciting platform to be on. So let's kind of jump in. First question I always like to ask is, how did you get started and find yourself? Because when I first met you, what, 6 years ago, you were not doing YouTube yet. So how did
Mhm.
the journey lead you to YouTube?
Yeah, so going back nearly 10 years, I had a web design service and I had a search engine optimization service. That SEO service worked. We got these pages ranked on Google, and we did a whole bunch of things from link building and article marketing. We would put tons of different types of content on the page, infographics that would link to Pinterest. Well, one thing that we put on that page was a YouTube video, a how-to video.
Mm-hmm.
And about 6 or 7 years ago, I made a discovery that the video itself was getting 50 times more views and traffic over on YouTube than the whole page that we had worked so hard on that was ranking on the top of Google. So again, just that one piece of it was getting 50 times more views and traffic. So I love efficiency and I love results. And I like the fact that I could just do one of the pieces and get 50 times results. And so it's evolved over the years to have more and more of a focus. I've um, learned a lot more, and now I've got a great track record of success, because going back about 5 years ago I really believed in my strategy, but I'd only proven it in small scale. So
Mm-hmm. And now it's pretty consistent. I mean,
oh
you
yeah.
you're managing some pretty large channels, and helping them to generate the bulk of their revenue is coming through their YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
I like to joke with people when they talk about YouTube, because I started doing YouTube this year, and it actually is producing leads and it is producing clients, but we're definitely not on the scale of what you guys are doing. But I always joke with people and say that YouTube is like the high maintenance girlfriend, that she's very demanding. You have to play by her rules and she will not be ignored. So, do you agree with that?
Well, definitely YouTube is a really long-term approach, and I have permission to share names and numbers on a few of the channels that I produce for. So Chris Crone, he teaches real estate investing. This has been a 5-year journey. We
Mhm.
started the channel from scratch 5 years ago. Where we're at today is pretty awesome. It's bringing in $600,000 per month in lead revenue, sales, the leads that the YouTube channel generates, and that's the sales from those leads. So that's at a really big place right now. He's selling both digital courses and filling his events. People are coming from across the country and even outside of the country to his local events. But the first 2.5, well, the first 3 years were just a trickle, very, very slow, gradual, and an occasional lead. And so that the moral of that long story is that YouTube really is has high potential, but it's a long-term momentum building process.
Yeah, and I think that's really important to understand because you know, people look at this like I'll give my channel as an example. We just passed 600 subscribers today, and it's been a year. And the first, I want to say the first 6 months, I don't think we had any leads coming in through it. Now we get 15 to 20 leads per month. And because we have a good follow-up system in place, we are converting clients from that, but it's taken a lot of time to get there. The thing that I'm really excited about though is as I've watched clients and I've helped clients do this process as well, is that you need to invest today in something that is going to feed your tomorrow. And I really think that YouTube fills that role, that if you'll spend some time and energy today, you can build something that's not going away, it's only getting bigger. And I do feel like, you know, we're seeing some of the platforms that we've loved decline, and YouTube's not. YouTube just seems to be getting bigger and stronger. And I feel like we haven't really tapped it yet. Like it's not maxed out yet.
Yeah, definitely. And you brought up a good point. A lot of the other platforms, I mean, there's some that are growing, some that are declining. YouTube is big and it's still growing, and it has two huge advantages that I can take advantage of, that I know you can take advantage of. Most of the people watching this, if you have expertise, if your business and you monetize your business because you sell your expertise through coaching or speaking or courses or events, then YouTube has two huge advantages. One is search. And what I mean by that is all around the world right now, people are searching for your expertise. They just don't know you exist, but they're asking questions that you would be the perfect person to answer. And so simply by finding out what those questions are, making videos that answer those questions, YouTube's search engine is amazing, right? If you posted a video on Facebook and you told somebody about it, they went to Facebook and searched for it, they're probably not going to find it. Or if I saw something 6 months ago on Facebook and I was like,
Yeah, I can't
where
find
was that? And I try and search, there's just no chance that I could find it. But in comparison, we do searches on YouTube all the time. You can find things that you didn't even know existed. You search and it's just amazing. And content on, this is still part of the same point, but I guess it's another one. Another benefit is content on YouTube is really evergreen. So I post a video today, it gets views, it's getting views a month from now, a year, 3 years from now, it's getting more views. It just keeps bringing in more and more traffic.
I love that actually. That's my favorite part about it, is getting leads from a video that I posted like 3 months ago. I'm like, yes, it's still working for me. That's the best parts.
Well, and we can spend time on that because let's say you just did one video per week, and let's compare Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, compare that to YouTube. On the more social platforms, you have the advantage of social, but the video that's most current, that's the one that's being seen. And then you put out another one and it just goes on top of the pile, and another one goes on top of the pile the next week. And everything at the bottom of the pile is just history. Whereas on YouTube, each additional video you put out there just builds that momentum, and it's like a snowball that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so after a year, after several years, you've just got hundreds of videos that are working for you to bring in visitors. I believe we both know Paul Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
I know his numbers really well. His channel is averaging 15,000 views per day. That's not just on one video. That's not the video that went live today.
Right.
That might be 1,000 views. But across his channel, 15,000 views a day is pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, for sure. And the other thing is that then you get to build funnels and you get to bring people in from just watching you on YouTube and going in. So you and I both know YouTube. I do not know it as well as you, but I think for some of our users, this might be a new thought or new conversation to them. So just getting started, let's kind of give some specific tips for what would you recommend for somebody who's thinking about utilizing YouTube, or maybe they have a channel but they feel like they're underutilizing it. Where do you recommend they get started?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, this device right here is where you get started. You don't need any fancy equipment. There's three things that you can think about. Do I need a fancy camera? What type of camera should I have? What type of lighting? What type of audio? the camera is the least important, right? And you've got a high definition. I mean, this is the iPhone 6S. It's an older camera or phone and camera, but it's HD and it can film in 4K if I wanted to. I would focus on lighting first. And so I admit I didn't bring any lighting with me today. It's okay if I had a light right there and it'd be a little bit better coloring on me. That's what I would do if I were filming episodes for my channel, filming in this location, because I do have a brighter background.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to make sure you have good audio. And that's why, I mean, these kind of look dorky having these headphones in there, but I wanted the audio to be better for this conversation here. And then video. I mean, for this, I'm just using the webcam on my MacBook.
Mm-hmm.
For your YouTube episodes, just start out with your phone. Now, what do you talk about? The biggest secret that I can share, this is it. This is the gold, and it's going to sound really simple. No one does it. Okay. The biggest secret that I can share is to do keyword research before filming.
Yes. It's so much harder afterwards if you try to film and then go find the right keywords. It's almost impossible.
Yeah, it practically is. I mean, people come to me and say, "Hey, Nate, I've got all these videos on YouTube. Can you SEO them for me?" And maybe 1% or 0.5% of the time, I might be able to do something with the content. So let me give you an example. And this is the example I've been using for years. My friend Doreen Spackman told me that she had a remedy for a sore throat. So if we would have just pulled out the camera and started filming and say, okay, tell me about your remedy, it would have been a valuable video. Her content is amazing. But before we filmed, we did keyword research and we found, we looked at all the different questions people are asking. And one of them was how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics. So that's really specific. It's a great question. It had consistent search volume. That long, that's 9 words, means that probably no one else out there is going to have a video with that exact title. So when I post it, it'll rank on the top of YouTube on day 1. So there's some huge advantages there. So now when Doreen and I filmed that video, she altered her content a bit to really match that title. She talked about how to get rid of strep throat, not just a sore throat, and how to do it without antibiotics. And that type of video will really get great results. The SEO has already been done. The keyword research has already been done. We can't go back. If we would have filmed the video earlier and then tried to give it the title, how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, it wouldn't have matched. You can't just add that title after the fact.
Yeah. And, one of the things that I have found is challenging in the beginning is finding the right keywords. I'm telling you, it's easier now because now my channel has some more volume behind it and we're, YouTube is liking us a little bit better in algorithms. But in the beginning, it was really hard to find keywords that we could rank in because it's super competitive in the business conversation market. So do you have any
Want me to simplify things for you?
Yeah, I would love some simplifying tips for keywords.
So what we've been taught over the past many years about SEO is that you want to find a keyword phrase that's 2 or 3 or 4 words long that has tons and tons of search volume. And if you can rank number 1 for that, then home run, then you've struck gold. I take a completely opposite approach, okay? A tool that I use, there's a website in a company called SEMrush. So that stands for Search Engine Marketing, semrush.com. They have a tool called the Keyword Magic Tool.
Okay.
They have a free trial. It's quite limited though. The tool costs $100 a month. I use that, I pay that every month, but for anyone that's watching, it would be worth paying for it for 1 month, doing all your keyword research for the next year, and then canceling your subscription, because otherwise I don't know, you can get it all done in a short amount of time. What you do is you put in your categories of expertise. So in the tool, you just put in something. I'll give you another example. My friend Katie Gutierrez, she's in Miami. She's an interior designer. And one of her areas of expertise is living room design. Now, in her mind, she could probably come up with a couple living room design videos. But when we put living room design into this keyword magic tool, we hit search. At first, you get results that look pretty similar to what you'll find in keyword research. But then there's a button that says questions. So you hit the questions button, and now it tells you all the questions people are asking about living room design.
Hmm.
So I know there was how to design a living room with a corner fireplace, or how to design a living room with large windows, or how to design a living room with a high ceiling, or how to design a kitchen living room combo. There was about 20 different video titles that we picked out that are perfect, and she knows the answer, knows how to make an amazing, compelling video about that. So there's some great advantages. I mean, first of all, that's the simple way, is using a tool like that really simplifies the process of knowing what to talk about, how to do the keyword research. When you find specific phrases like that, it makes it easy for you to compete. Now, the search volume, the reason I mentioned earlier that this is kind of the opposite approach is we're not going after living room design that has huge search volume and huge competition. We're going after these really long but really niche phrases
Mm-hmm.
that still have search volume, that still have at least 10 searches a month. That's all I want. And here's why. So if there's a say 30 searches a month, I think, for the phrase how to design a living room with a corner fireplace, 30 doesn't sound like a whole lot. But if those 30 people watch my video, they're going to watch it all the way to the end because it's exactly specific to what they're searching for.
Mm-hmm.
The YouTube algorithm sees that and thinks, wow, this is a very high performing video. Let's find another 30 or 100 people that we want to promote this video to that we think will like it as well, that's similar to these initial 30. And so YouTube starts to be that promotion engine for you. So does that make sense?
Yeah. So do you have a cap? Like I try to find videos that have under 100 search volume a month, or
Yeah, I mean, there's flexibility in the rules, but that's kind of my default. I go between 10 and 100 per month. Yeah.
huh, interesting. I'm going to try that.
Because yeah, I mean, the more search volume that you find on a phrase, the more competition you have. Other people are ignoring the small ones,
Mm-hmm.
yet the small ones are the most valuable. So
Okay, I'm totally taking notes on that. I love that. That's great. Okay, so for those of you who are listening, let's just go back. So that is SEM Rush is the tool, and it's called Keyword Magic.
magic, keyword magic tool. Yep.
Okay. All right. So once they start putting up content and they start getting it seen, do you have any tips for how to increase views and visibility? Because I will tell you, your numbers for your clients on how many subscribers they have and how many views they are getting is astounding. So how are you
Okay.
making that happen?
All right. So I'm going to tell you the aggressive approach.
Okay.
Okay. For me to be this aggressive, I have to work really efficiently. So when I film with my clients, we film 20 episodes at a time. Okay. So with that little preface, let me share with you a 4-ingredient formula that if you have these 4 ingredients, then you'll experience a spike on your channel. Okay. A spike is where maybe you're averaging 100 views a day, and then all of a sudden you have 5,000 views in a day because YouTube is promoting you to new audiences. Okay, so the first ingredient we've already talked about, you need to do keyword research before filming. So we've got that. The second ingredient is your videos need to be 10 to 12 minutes in length. Some people, when I first share that, they think, oh, that's long. Isn't that long for a video? That's actually the perfect length on YouTube. It's very, very common. The channels that I subscribe to, that's the most common length. YouTube likes longer videos like that because the more time people spend on YouTube, the more ads they get to see. The average session duration, and I know this is for mobile, but it's like 40 minutes is the average time people spend on YouTube at a time. So that's the second ingredient, between 10 and 12 minutes per episode. The third ingredient is you need your average view duration to be at least 45%. So that means if you've got a 10-minute video, you don't want people leaving after just 1 minute. Your content has to be, it's typically valuable. The one thing that I've found is if you've got really valuable content, you've not only got to tell people at the beginning, okay, this is what this video is about. I'm going to teach you how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics. I might give a little bit more. Okay, there's 3 ingredients. You have these in your kitchen. And then at the end, I'm going to actually demonstrate and show you how to make this remedy. So if they get their answer within the first minute, they think, oh, it's just these 3 ingredients. Why do I need to watch the other 9? Okay, so that's the third ingredient. You want to have an average view duration of at least 45%, and then you need to wait 4 months. You need to, okay. Oh, I missed an ingredient. 5 episodes per week.
Five
So
episodes per week.
that's where the bulk filming really
And that's where
comes
she
into
is
play.
the high maintenance girlfriend that demands what she wants and won't be ignored. 5 episodes per week.
Yeah. So keyword research before filming, then 10 to 12 minutes in length, average view duration of 45% or higher, and 5 episodes per week. And when you have those 4 ingredients, you just keep doing that for 4 months. 4 months it's going to be really boring for those 4 months, but then at that 4-month mark, you'll have a spike. So it's a pretty cool formula that we discovered and we've been using for years, and it works every time when you have those 4 ingredients.
Awesome. Okay, so let's go through those again. Keyword research before, 10 to 12 minute videos, average view duration of 45%, 5 episodes per week, and then be patient for 4 months, and then you see a link, you see a spike. Can I add in an ingredient to your list?
Yeah, let's hear it.
In every single video, because what I will say is if you have a place for them to opt in every single video, that means that when you get to 4 months, you'll be able to have leads coming in. And even in the beginning, and this is where, so I'm excited to try this out and make some tweaks to my channel. But even though my channel isn't doing all of that, I am still getting leads coming in because I have funnels built in where it's like, hey, go get my free LinkedIn ebook, go get my free copy of the sales book, go get my free this. And there's just, I mention it in the videos at the end, and there's a link in each description, and that will help you as well to make sure that you're turning these people into clients instead of just having one. Because I know
I have 2 suggestions. One relates to the call to action that you're talking about, and then the other, I don't want to forget, it relates to, and I guess I forgot it already, so I'll have to come back to that. Okay, so relating to the call to action, a really good strategy is on, let's say 5 episodes a week, you want to have about 1 of them per week having a strong call to action to your lead magnet or to your landing page, whatever entrance point you have for your sales funnel. A great lead magnet that's really working on YouTube is a free plus shipping offer to a book. So if you have a physical book, that is great to give them for free. They pay for the shipping, even the printing costs. You can charge them up to like $7 or $8, and it seems to work just great. You give them the content of that book, obviously, for free. Now, if you're posting 5 episodes per week and the main call to action on that one video is to your sales funnel, what about the other 4? Well, the other 4 is going to link to this video. So when they get to the end of we'll call this video 4, they get to the end of video 4 and it says, all right, now that you've learned about this concept, the next video you should watch is this one. And you tell them the title of this video. So all 4 of these are promoting this one. YouTube likes watch time. And so when one video leads to another one, it will actually lead to them promoting you more and more. And then obviously you'll be getting a lot of leads to your sales funnel as well.
I like that because I am not currently posting 5 days a week. I'm posting once a week. So to get, go do this once a week, I can see how if you're posting every day, that driving them to the one makes a lot of sense.
And that actually reminds me what my other point was. So I do have clients that we are launching just 1 episode per week. The strategy that we're talking about of doing keyword research before filming and building that momentum, it takes time. You won't have the spikes. Doing this approach, you won't have the spikes, but you'll have steady, gradual growth, which you've experienced, and you're getting leads. I mean, you mentioned the first 6 months were non-existent lead-wise, but now leads are coming in. You're getting 15 leads per month. That's quite significant. And so even if you can only do 1 episode per week, start there. I still recommend filming in bulk. If you're going to film 5 episodes at a time, then there's 5 weeks worth covered for you. In order to go up to 5 episodes per week, wow, that's a lot. When we've got careers, businesses, we've got families, we've got social lives, we want to go out and mountain bike. That's me. You have to film in bulk. I produce 13 channels. How do I do that? 8 of those are daily channels. So yeah, we film 20 episodes in one day, and it's a long day. It's a 9 to 5 day of filming. So
Well, and one thing that I will say about your service that I love, and I've seen this because Dr. Paul, Live on Purpose, everybody go check out Live on Purpose TV. He's a client of both of ours. Um, your process, like you just take it. I mean, he gets a list of here's all the videos you need to make. Like they've already done the keyword research for him, and then he has to figure out what he wants to say for those. It's one day of filming, and then your team edits it, your team does the graphics, your team puts it up, does the SEO. Like it's a pretty seamless process. So yeah, I think you've got a great thing going on and are creating some awesome momentum on YouTube, and I appreciate you coming and sharing it.
Mhm.
Okay, there is a question in here. There's a couple questions in here actually, so let's grab some questions. And if you have any other questions about selling on YouTube, now is your chance to ask them. So can you upload a Zoom meeting recording to YouTube? Yes, but you should probably edit it.
Yeah, I mean, you totally can, and I would say if that's going to be the easiest way for you to get started, go ahead and do that. There are disadvantages because lack of quality. I mean, when I upload videos to YouTube, I'm using a better camera, better lighting. Even if I were using my phone, it would be better than the webcam. Also, you typically aren't going to edit with a YouTube video. People's attention spans are shorter, and so if I'm saying and or if I want to stop and say something over, you can edit those up. Now, if that's intimidating to you, then just start with your Zoom video. For editing, you can film on your phone and use iMovie to edit. It's free. It comes with the iPhone. You can download that, and it's like my kids learned how to use it, so it's really I guess all kids know technology, but it's very intuitive, very user friendly. So I would say go ahead and start there, and then try it another way and just learn some advantages, and you'll learn to improve over time.
Yeah. Well, and if you are going to use Zoom, I have like my webcam is a Logitech HD 1080p webcam, and it's got a much crisper video than my webcam on my computer. And so I want to say it costs like $50. If you want to go get a good webcam, that would help. I also have a microphone, so that was probably like another 50. So you can do things to improve the quality if you really do want to do that. And then the other thing is they've got a light that is shining, so you can get better quality. But I agree with Nate that I think the editing on I wouldn't just upload a Zoom video, because people are used to YouTube videos being more produced. And so, they want to see like your intro. They want to see even things like going across the bottom and saying the bullet points, number 1, number 2, just that kind of stuff. I think Zoom's a great platform. And I've done YouTube videos where I'm interviewing someone else and we do them through Zoom. But then I think you got to do a little bit of cleaning it up before you put it up there.
Well, and one other thing that I can share is you can get away with ultra casual. Zoom is static. It's at a desk. Typically, the lighting isn't the best because you're facing the wall that your desk is up against. But imagine a Zoom or a FaceTime type video. So I'm out. Let's say I'm outside and I'm walking around and I'm just talking to my camera, selfie mode. That can actually do really well on YouTube. But I'm talking to one person. That's the main thing that you want to emphasize is look right at the lens of the camera. Just have a one-on-one conversation with that person, and don't be in presentation mode. Just be in conversation mode.
Yeah. I agree. And I think you have to this is one thing that held me up. I wish I had started YouTube 2 years ago when I had a bunch of clients doing it. And I was like, yeah, go do YouTube, and like, helping them build their funnels, and it was exploding. I wish I had done it then, but I didn't. And one of the reasons why was because I was struggling with, which it's funny because Trish just said that my channels are great and I'm great at video. Thank you. I struggled because I didn't know how to do video production, and I didn't want to put out something that was bad. And so I didn't start. And finally I got to the point where I just said, you know what, I have to be willing to do it badly in order to learn how to do it well. So my first videos, like if you went back to the very beginning, they're not very good. And I still have videos, like I did one recently where like the lighting wasn't super awesome. I had one where like there was this loud ringing noise in the background and I had to try to edit that down. You know, I mean, I have those things where it's not always good. And I think you have to be willing to just start. And I love, Nate, that you're like, you know, use your phone, use Zoom. If Zoom's the way that you are willing to get started, go for it. Just get started and get better as you go. Cause you know, you really are not, unless you hire Nate right now, and then your channel's going to look pro from the very beginning. But you do really have to be willing to just get started.
So I'm in the middle of creating a course. It's still a couple months in the works. But one section that I put in there, I called Start Ugly. I learned that from a friend of mine, Chris Kitsamos. And I love that concept because start ugly, just don't stay ugly, right?
Yeah.
Starting ugly is going to get you clients. And then you'll make improvements and get better over time.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, okay, we had one more question here, and it was just a clarification. The 45%, she's wanting to know what's the clarification of the 45%. What is that?
Well, you can look at that at an average view duration or an average retention rate. When you go into the YouTube analytics and look at the stats, you'll see, and it'll have a graph, and I'm going to go backwards here, but you'll have this many people watching, 100% at the beginning of the video, and it starts to get down now at 75, 65, 45, 35, and how many people watch all the way to the end. So you look at the average, and if your video has an average view duration of 45% or higher, then you'll get that spike with those other ingredients at that 4-month mark.
Yeah, which is not always easy to do, because think about it. How many of you watch 45% of a video versus just watching the very beginning? So that definitely is something that I can see how you're focusing on the less volume keywords gets you only people who are really interested in it, which then helps you to spike your watch time. So you guys, when he's telling this formula, I truly do not know as much about YouTube as Nate does, but I know enough about YouTube to know that he really knows what he's talking about. So Nate, tell us about the course that's coming out.
Yeah, it's basically, I don't have a name for it, but it's YouTube, how to master YouTube, start to finish. I filmed a lot of the videos for it. There'll be text and video that goes along with it. Everything from the keyword research side, the filming, the camera, the editing, how to even build your own editing team if you don't want to do the editing yourself, and find somebody in the Philippines like I do. So I'm going start to finish, just sharing all my secrets. So
awesome. And when is it coming out? Because I want it.
Hopefully, realistically, because of the holidays, it'll probably be at the beginning of the year. I do have a keyword research mini course that I give away for free, and that is available now.
Okay.
And so I shared the link with you, or I can tell the link now.
Yeah,
but,
let's put that link in, because I don't know. Do you guys want it, or is it just me? I'm geeked out on YouTube. If you guys want that, go ahead and type in the chat that you want it, and we can share that research. Okay, they do want it.
So I believe you need the W's in there, the www.betheherostudios.com/keyword.
Okay, I'm putting it in.
And for the HTTP part, you might need the S. I don't remember. I just remember that one time worked and the other one didn't. So yeah, I think that looks right.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, we're going to wrap up with our 3 questions that we've been asking everyone, and then we'll bring up Marcial here. By the way, do you know Michael?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good, because you guys should be connected. Okay,
Definitely.
So first question is, what do you want people to remember from our conversation?
I'm hoping that they caught a vision of what's possible on YouTube, really how it could help them drive their business. And then the main takeaway is to do that keyword research before filming, knowing that you just stick with that. That's the main ingredient that will help you get there.
Awesome. Okay, question number 2. What do you want them to feel from what we've shared today?
Okay, I guess I kind of answer that. Really just excitement. That there really is huge opportunity. YouTube is such a great tool, and yeah, definitely excitement.
Good. And then the third question is, what do you want them to do because they have just listened to you?
Start ugly. Once this summit is done, pull out your video. Pull out your phone, make a video on a long phrase question that you found. So start ugly, get that video out there, and then you'll make your improvements along the way.
Awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on. I just posted that website in again because we wanted to repeat there. So https://www.betheherostudios.com/keyword. We have a couple people who are just listening on their phone, so I'm going to say that again. https://www.betheherostudios.com/keyword. Nate, thanks so much for being on with us. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for
Awesome.
having me.
Okay, guys, as we're switching out from Nate to Michael, make sure you give him some love in the chat. Tell him thank you for his time. We really appreciate you being here.